You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 14th of November. Myanmar junta soldiers flee to India after border clash with rebels. Bangladeshi scientists determined to stop dengue outbreak. And Nepal bans Chinese app TikTok, alleges damaging social impact. And now for all the details, dozens of Myanmar junta soldiers surrendered to Indian police in the state of Mizoram a day after anti-junta rebel fighters gained control of part of a porous border with India. According to Mizoram police, in the last 2 days, 42 Myanmar army soldiers have either surrendered or have been caught by the state police, while more than 5,000 people from the neighboring country have taken refuge in Indian villages along the border. Myanmar's military leadership is facing its biggest test since taking power in a 2021 coup after 3 ethnic minority forces launched the coordinated offensive in late October. The offensive, named by rebels as Operation 1027, has also made inroads in junta-controlled areas on the border with China, where Myanmar's military authorities have lost control of several towns and over 100 military outposts.
This morning again, we still capture 2 Myanmar army, and apart from that, another one is also injured, that is already admitted in Champhai Civil Hospital yesterday evening itself. So the total Myanmar army who got surrendered in the hand of Mizoram police are 42 in numbers. But as I already said, they are handed over to Assam Rifle, and the government of India will decide their fate.
And India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar on Monday contemplated the significant transformations that India has undergone in the last 10 years, attributing them to the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Jaishankar, who was speaking at a gathering of the Indian diaspora in London, said these 10 years have been a socio-economic revolution in India. He also highlighted the profound transformation in relationship between India and the UK and said it is time to reframe the relationship which is suited for the contemporary era.
In the last 10 years, the world has changed, our relationship has changed, UK has changed, India has changed. So you may ask me, what has changed in India? You know the answer is Modi. Each one of these schemes has delivered. But the point I wish to make to you, it is when you connect these dots. It's really when you see the cumulative impact of all of this on the lives of people. That is the change which is underway in India.
Moving on, in a significant diplomatic move, India at the UN spearheaded recommendations for Canada to fortify measures preventing attacks on worship places and effectively address hate speech. Highlighting the misuse of freedom of expression, India urged Ottawa to disallow activities of groups promoting extremism and enhance measures to address hate crimes against racial minorities. A similar stance was reiterated by Bangladesh and Sri Lanka as they urged Canada to intensify its efforts to combat discrimination against migrants and the racial discrimination affecting the rights of immigrants. The remarks come at a time when ties between New Delhi and Ottawa have stranded after Canadian PM Justin Trudeau linked Indian government in the killing of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Bangladesh and Sri Lanka have shown vocal support to India in the tussle and have termed Canada as a safe haven for murderers and fugitives. Well, anti-Pakistan sentiment is on the rise in Gilgit-Baltistan over wheat shortage and the cut down on subsidies, which is severely affecting the masses in the occupied region. A report. Political activists of the Awami Action Committee have raised concern over the issue of wheat shortage and cut down on subsidies that is particularly hitting the poor in Gilgit-Baltistan. There have been several protests against the Pakistan government over unfair taxes being imposed and price hike of food items, but all in vain. Locals accuse Islamabad is pushing more and more people into abject poverty through its failed economic policies.
पहले वाला जो ये वज़रा हैं अपने मराद अपने वो शाही अखराजात कम करने के बजाय ये गरीबों के पीछे लगे हैं इंशाअल्लाह या ये वज़रा रहेंगे या ये वज़रा रहेंगे या ये मतलब गिलगित बल्चिस्तान के आवाम रहेंगे।
एहतजाज में खड़े रहेंगे। अगर एहतजाज निकाल दिया तो उन लोगों ने हम एहतजाज भी करेंगे, उसके साथ साथ अगर धरने की शक्ल दिया तो हम धरने को भी जाएंगे। अगर उनके साथ अगर कोई ऐसा वाक़या हो कि जेल तक जाने की अगर ज़रूरत पड़े हम उनके साथ जेल तक भी जाएंगे। हम जीवी की जो हुकूक है हम वो हासिल करने की कोशिश करेंगे।
And as rising temperatures and a longer monsoon in Bangladesh are providing ideal breeding conditions for the dengue spread mosquito, a scientist is determined to stop the deadly outbreak. A report. Kabirul Bashar, an entomologist at the Jahangirpur University in Dhaka, has spent the good part of his career studying mosquitoes, hoping to find ways to prevent the spread of mosquito-borne diseases, including dengue fever. But out of his 25 years of research, he had never seen such severe an outbreak as that recorded in Bangladesh this year. Nearly 290,000 people have been infected and the death toll has topped 1,400 so far, with hospitals overwhelmed. Bashar has decided to intensify his research on the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads dengue. He said the mosquito is adapting now to climate change pressure and has changed ways of breeding and biting.
তাপমাত্রা, আর্দ্রতা, বৃষ্টিপাত এর প্যাটার্ন কিন্তু চেঞ্জ হয়েছে। এখন অক্টোবর মাসের মাঝামাঝি সময়, এই সময় আমরা যে বৃষ্টিপাত দেখছি বর্ষাকালের মতো। এটি তো একটি জলবায়ু পরিবর্তনের ফলেই এই যে সিজনাল প্যাটার্নের চেঞ্জ এটি ঘটেছে। আর যখনই মৌসুম পরিবর্তন হয়েছে, মৌসুম পরিবর্তন হওয়ার সঙ্গে সঙ্গে এডিস মশার যে উপযোগী বৃষ্টিপাত, উপযোগী তাপমাত্রা, উপযোগী আর্দ্রতা আমরা কিন্তু এখন এডিস মশা পেয়ে যাচ্ছে। যখনই এই মৌসুমটি পরিবর্তিত হচ্ছে, এডিস মশা তার পরিবর্তন করছে, অ্যাডাপ্টেশন চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে, এই বৃষ্টিপাতের ফলে বিভিন্ন জায়গায় পানি জমা হচ্ছে, সেখানে এডিস মশার প্রজনন হচ্ছে, ডিম পাড়ছে এবং বংশবৃদ্ধি হয়ে।
Bashar, who is also the only scientific expert in the country's National Anti-Dengue Committee, suggests it would be, however, impossible to stop dengue spread unless the general public participates in the breeding source management. And Nepal on Monday announced a ban on Chinese social media platform TikTok, citing disturbance in social harmony and goodwill by the misuse of the popular video app. Minister of Information and Communications for Nepal, Rekha Sharma, informed about the decision and said while a policy level has been imposed from Monday, technical aspect about banning would take some time. Nepal in the past 4 years has recorded a total of 1,648 cases of cybercrime, out of which the majority were regarding the content on TikTok. While opposition CPN-UML has criticized the government's move, saying it lacked effectiveness and maturity, residents have welcomed the decision.
It may vary depending on individual perspective and priorities. I believe it would bring a positive impact to our country by government taking the step of banning TikTok. So primarily, the main issue that needed to be addressed was incorporating legal regulations on TikTok, which was not present in our country. So it created a disparity among people of various communities and religions, which really went against the diversified country of Nepal.
विशेष गरी टिकटकले अहिले मानिसहरूको अनावश्यक समय खर्चिएको छ, समयलाई बर्बाद गरेको छ। मानिसहरूमा अरूलाई देखाउनका लागि विलासी वस्तुहरूप्रति मानिसको लगानी बढ्दो छ र कतिपय कुराहरू, फोटोहरू एनिमेसन गर्ने अनि अरूलाई चाहिँ टिकटकको माध्यमबाट एउटा धम्क्याउने पाराले अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूपमा अरूको बारेमा नराम्रो भन्नेहरू पनि आज दिन प्रतिदिन बढ्दै गएको कारणले गर्दा.
Also, the decision comes within days of the introduction of directives on the operation of social networking 2023, under which social media platforms operating in the Himalayan nation need to open their liaison offices in Nepal. And Sikhs from across India on Monday took part in a colourful procession in Amritsar city, held annually a day after Bandi Chor Divas, or Prisoners Liberation Day, which coincides with Diwali. The day commemorates return of 6th Sikh Guru, Guru Har Gobind, to Amritsar after he won his freedom from Mughal Emperor Jahangir, and also got freed 52 princely rulers who had been incarcerated in Gwalior Fort Prison. The occasion is marked with a procession by Nihangs, the Sikh warrior sect, who displays their horse riding skills and traditional martial arts. Particular scenes which leave everyone in awe are the performers standing on 2 or 4 running horses simultaneously.
ਅੱਜ ਜੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਦੀਵਾਲੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਜੀ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਨਿਹੰਗ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਾਰਚ ਕੱਢਦੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਖੇਡਾਂ ਵੇਖਣ ਆਏ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਦਾਨ 'ਚ।
ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਖੇਡਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਖਾਸ?
ਇੱਥੇ ਜੀ ਘੋੜਸਵਾਰੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਿੱਲਾ ਪੁੱਟਦੇ ਆ ਜੀ ਨਿਹੰਗ ਸਿੰਘ, ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਬੜੀਆਂ 4-4 ਘੋੜਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਇਕੱਲਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਚੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਖੇਡਦਾ ਜੀ।
Well, that's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.